I have been very privileged to work with Teresa as an adjuster for quite a number of years now. I would just mention even about, first of all, just her performance right now as an adjuster. It's really notable. $61,534.20 in subrogation, 28 recoveries. So Teresa was just hammering at things, you know, right up to the last minute here. Also, just a little show of hands here. How many people have done their third quarter file reviews at this point? We got one. I think we got a few in here. Thank you, Fred. Okay, Teresa did hers, and I didn't even ask her to. So I mean, we have a super diligent, and something that I've really noticed about Teresa. She has been somebody that has just had an incredibly positive attitude regardless of the circumstances. Teresa is a very, very upbeat person. And I've always, you know, said that she was somebody, you know, working out there as a resident. She worked, you know, independently very, very well, very competent as an adjuster. So her service to shelter has been great. But far beyond that, just really appreciate the opportunity of, you know, working with you, Teresa. I was just thinking, you were a great adjuster, but more than that, you're a wonderful person. And that we're also very honored to have Matt Moore take the time to come down and be with us today. You know, that's something that's really impressive, you know, about shelter, in that our upper management really is concerned about what's going on down here in the trenches, and we really appreciate you coming down here today, Matt. Right at this time, would just like to give people an opportunity to say anything you'd like to say to Teresa. This is your shot as an open mic. And I don't know, Matt, would you like to start out?
Sure, I'm a little shy, you know. I'll get behind here so I can see everybody. I don't trust Sid. Where are those chocolate chip cookies in?
I know.
You know, she said I'm going to make her cry. I'm probably going to make myself cry. She's a pretty special lady. And, you know, I got to go to West Plains back in 1998-ish, something like that. And the first time I ever met Teresa and Mary Kay and Jeannie and Debbie and Lou and Bruce, it was a pretty special group. And so, and Gary, you know, don't let me forget Gary. But I want to tell just a story or two. And the first one was that I came out of Little Rock, and I used to go help separate the mail in Little Rock. I was a claims supervisor, and every now and then I'd go by there, and they had these great big buckets of mail, and we would dump them out, and, you know, and we would just, because Little Rock was a big office, and a lot of stuff going on. And so the first Monday that I ever walked into the office in West Plains, I went in there and sat down, and I thought, well, you know, maybe the mail will be here in a little bit. And it never came. And so finally I went to Debbie. I said, you know, Debbie, where's the mail? And Debbie said, well, you got to go get it. It would have been nice if somebody told me that. So I said, well, you know, done like 7:30. Oh, no, they won't get it out till about 9. And I said, well, a little bit different. So they told me how to go. So, oh, just go to the counter and ask for it. So I go in there and go to the counter, and the first thing they do is, I said, okay, I'm, you know, a shelter, and I need to pick up the mail. Well, they hand me like 2 letters. I said, well, where's the rest of it? And they go, no, that's it. And that's a busy Monday, too. So it was. And then, but then I had to learn a new language, and I know we kind of tell this story, but I think I asked, and I believe it was Mary Kay that told me this, but it may have been someone else. But I asked for somebody to go do something. I said, you know, I need you to go. Would you mind going and picking the mail up, maybe, or something? And I think Mary Kay said, well, I don't care to. I said, well, okay, I'll go get it myself. I didn't know that meant she didn't care to, she didn't mind. You know, that's not how we spoke in Arkansas. But, you know, that was a special group of people. And if you ask my kids today, we play a little game every now and then when we're all together, and we'll say, where's your favorite place to live? Where's the favorite place you've ever lived? And we've lived in several places. They always say West Plains. It was a great time for my family, but a special group of people, and we were a family in that office, and I learned that pretty quick. And this lady, Miss Teresa, was so special, and I know Rex wishes you wish he was here.
Yeah.
You know that he's looking down on us, and you're going to see him again, and that's the part. And 50, almost 47 years. I was 10, by the way, when you started.
Yeah.
I did raise my hand back there when they asked if you were alive, but you meant a lot to this company. I mean, and that's what, you know, we just lost Cheryl and Lou that have retired. I mean, years of experience. And for you young folks here, you need to look and see with the way Teresa and Mary Kay and all of these folks carry themselves with class, respect, their attitudes, as I think that Sid just pointed out. Never a day did I ever have, there was never a bad attitude in that branch. And I mean, it was just a special group of people and a family. And I always felt like it was a family.
You helped that attitude a lot.
They welcomed me in with open arms,
Yeah.
even if they wouldn't go and get the mail. So we're going to miss you on behalf of the company. You're a special lady, and we're going to miss you. So
Thanks.
thank you.
Great.
The floor is open to anyone else.
I would
who'd like
just
to
say
speak.
that we West Plains ladies here love Teresa, and we can't wait for her to come home. And we're planning a cruise.
Sid, I'll say something.
Okay.
I just have to say it here. Well, I was fortunate to follow Matt to West Plains back in 1999, I think what it was. And coming in with a lot of experience in that office. And they welcomed me just like I'd lived in West Plains from day one. And Teresa was part of that. Now, we'll tell this real quick story about Teresa, because I was rather young back then, and Teresa had already been with the company several years, and Gary Johnson brought this up. I didn't. We'd always have, we go into a little kitchen area, and we'd have a little, every once in a while somebody would bring in some goodies, so we'd get in there and we'd visit in the mornings, and because the mail wasn't out yet. So. But Gary says, Doug, how old are you? And at that time I was like 30, 31, something like that. And he looked at Teresa. Now I want to say Teresa doesn't look like she should be retirement. I mean, she looks young. Am I right? I'm not saying that. She does. So Gary, of course, Gary knows or knew what her age was at that particular time, and he says, "Well, Teresa, you've been with this company longer than this kid's been on this earth." And as nice as Teresa is, she laughs and she took it the way it was meant as a funny story. But that's just the way Teresa is. She is. I forget, or not forget, but when Matt said she is, or I'm sorry, it was Sid. He says not only do we appreciate Teresa as an employee of Shelter, we appreciate her as a person, and I have to second that because I can't say there's a nicer lady that's on this earth than Teresa Henry. And so thank you for being who you are.
Well, I'm Jim Hyde, in case there's a lot of you who don't know who I am. And I started in 1968. I was highly recruited and given a position at $2.08 an hour, and sent to West Plains. And my secretary was Teresa, and she was an old timer, but she'd been there 2 years. This was 69 to 70.
Yeah.
Speed limits were 70 miles an hour. That was for radial tires. I got 10,000 miles on a set of tires and I did like $1,500 miles every 2 weeks. Worked Gainesville and let's see, Eminence. Went up to Mountain Grove. I had a system. If you went to Gainesville, you doubled the speed limit, knocked off 10, you could which led to 10,000 miles on a set of tires. So anyway, there were 3 adjusters and Bob Smith. Bob Smith was the branch manager. Bob Leonard, Jim Groves, and me. And I was there about 13 months and knew Teresa, my wife Susie. We were all good friends. And had a lot of good memories.
We did.
In that short span, that was when I was just starting out. We were all getting our flames together, and to this day, I have to smile about a lot of those things.
Right.
They mean a lot. So I've not forgotten, and I do want you to know that life goes on. Retirement is very good. If you have the opportunity to travel and cruise, do so.
Yeah.
And just want you to know I appreciate you. And I know
Thanks, Jim.
you've been a long time.
Thanks.
We've already talked about it with West Plains. I worked in Joplin and was hired on there. And Jim Groves was their branch manager. And each year they would send us a Christmas card with all Mary Kay, Jeannie, Teresa, all their pictures. And John Kuhn came up and said that he wished Jim Groves would hire the Joplin person now from now on because they had such pretty girls. So we got that Christmas card and Patty Freeman and I put mustaches.
Wow. Told the story of Mary Kay's retirement about the time that when Jim Reamer was the manager here, he decided he was going to go out to West Plains and spend some time with Mary Kay and Teresa. So he sent an email to Mary Kay and Teresa and said, hey, I'm going to be out there Monday. I'm going to spend the day with you two and shadow you and ride around and check out the area. And Mary Kay took that email and forwarded it to Teresa and wrote, she wrote, oh, blankety blank blank, with a bunch of exclamation points. But before she hit send, she backed it up and just wrote, oh crap. Now the problem was she thought she had forwarded that email to Teresa. But instead she hit reply. And Jim was a pretty new manager here, and I was a supervisor at the time. He came down to me and he said, what do you think about it? I said, I don't know, but I don't know that I'd go to West Point. You know, the level you're performing at right up to retirement. I looked at our several logs yesterday, and it really is, going back 5 years, almost every year, you're 50 recoveries, $100,000 every year, year after year, right up until this year. And you're actually tops in the casualty group right now.
Really?
With
Awesome.
$61,000. So you're leading the group as you're leaving, and I said the same thing at Judy Dickey's retirement, as Judy still comes in here and like she didn't miss a beat. I mentioned going out on top of your game, and that's you've always given everything. I know you've worked probably 25,000 Walmart parking lot accidents. I've listened to some of those statements, and you grill them on every one of them and get the facts, and you always took your job very seriously, and you did it very, very well with a very high degree of detail, and we really appreciate that. You did a service to our customers. Everyone has loved working with you. The agents out there can't say enough good things about you, and Sid and everyone in the office. So, I mean, when you get a turnout like this, and Fred said, boy, this is a big turnout. And I said, yeah, it's about twice what you had for yours.
We had a smaller room back then. We couldn't hold them all.
In case anybody missed it, Fred asked Matt out in the hall what he did for the company.
He first asked if I was still with the company.
Yeah, I've been out of the loop for a little while. No, we really are going to miss you here. We've told the folks coming in, the new folks, for both your and Cheryl's position, you know, when you lose 92 years with the company in back-to-back months, it's a huge loss to our branch. And then Lou was right before that, and he's been here a really long time, and Maggie's been here a really long time, and we've really lost a lot of experience here, and we've got some new folks in place that are going to do good, but they've got big shoes to fill. So, 47 years, and it's we got a couple things we want to present to you. This is the corporate gift from home office. Thank you so much.